supposed to be. That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, but me being at a party with all his people that he deals with is not. That's not gonna make me happy.
So y'all not coming to the coming home party?
If all his that you've invited are gonna be there,
I didn't invite nobody.
Girl,
you seen the whole list? Who on that list?
He invited them. Then he on FaceTime invited every single one of them.
Oh, you talking about?
So there's no reason for me to.
I don't even think that girl. They like that.
There's no reason. They've all him, right? So there's no reason for me to be a part of this.
But that's
if he wants to do a family.
Like,
I don't want him though. I want him to stop doing that.
About wanting him. It's about like your position is already solidified.
I would like him to stop doing that, and I would like that if he gets out and he wants to do a family meetup at BJ's and whatever at Bonfire at the beach. That sounds great. But when it comes to a little party that he's trying to do with everybody, no.
So you guys are not coming to perform at the coming home party.
I don't need to be around
for him to get out.
Yep, everything is out, y'all. He ain't playing. Guess you won't need this anymore. Top of the PM, y'all. This is real. Yeah.
It always starts calm before the storm, and anybody who's followed this triangle knows nothing stays peaceful for long. Blueface had just touched down, trying to act unbothered, soaking in that welcome back energy at the return party his people threw for him. The room was glowing with phones out, everybody pretending like they were there for the love, when really they were waiting for chaos to break loose. The vibe was thick with whispers, side eyes, and that silent countdown that always follows him wherever he goes. And as much as folks tried to make it look like a celebration, the tension was already cooking under the surface because, of course, the two names guaranteed to flip the whole mood upside down were already trending online before they even stepped into the building. Chrisean and Jiden. People weren't even dancing anymore. They were watching the entrance like a movie, waiting to see who would pop up first. Blueface had been out of the spotlight for a minute, and that absence only made both of them louder. Jiden had been online pushing her unbothered queen energy, posting little jabs, smiling a little too hard, acting like she had this whole comeback under control. Chrisean, meanwhile, had been moving with unpredictable heat, 1 minute showing love, the next minute throwing shade, all while carrying that signature chaos she never tries to hide. So when the news hit that Blueface was back and the party was happening, people already knew what was coming. They just didn't know who would strike first.
Hello world. This is a message for Krishan Regina Malone. I accepted you back in with open arms so you can get on your feet. Ultimately, so my son can get on his feet. I offered you money just so you could solely focus on our son taking his first steps before his second birthday. I don't need you. I don't know what this jewelry heist ransom story you got going on is about, but if you have the funds to get your own space, you're more than free to do that. I thought I was doing you a solid. You know, you were homeless.
Inside the venue, Jiden walked in early, claiming her territory like she wanted the world to know she wasn't running from nothing. Her friends tried hyping her up, telling her she had the upper hand, that she was the main woman now, that the internet was on her side. But anybody who's seen how these stories play out knows confidence can crack fast when reality walks through the door. And tonight, reality was going to show up with the force that cameras love and fans fear. Blueface tried to keep it cool, moving slow, smiling for pictures, shaking hands like he wasn't fully aware of the landmine waiting to explode. He wanted to look in control, but the tension sitting in the air was louder than any music the DJ could play. People kept glancing at the door every time it creaked, waiting for the moment the whole situation flipped from chill to straight chaos. And then, right on cue, that energy in the room dropped a full 20 degrees when somebody whispered the words that hit harder than the bass, "Chrisean's here." And just like that, the whole party held its breath. The second Chrisean stepped out of that car, the energy outside the venue cracked like lightning. She didn't sneak in. She didn't send warnings. She didn't roll quiet. She arrived exactly how people expected. Loud without speaking, aggressive without moving, unpredictable without trying. She walked up with that "I said what I said" posture, that signature stare dead ahead, letting everybody know she wasn't here to play cute or polite. She came dressed for a confrontation, even if she never admitted it. And the fans outside knew immediately, whatever piece this party had was done. Inside, phones shot up like antennas the moment word spread she was walking in.
Trying to play with my son, like, leave him out of this argument, bro. Like, why lie like that? Why play like, oh, at least get him to walk? Bro, you don't even know what's going on.
If you have a roller bag, please
you don't even know what's
roller
going
bag
on.
sideways like a
You
taco.
don't. He don't
Please
know
do
what's
not
going
lay it
on.
flat. Put your
Like, he
roller
don't.
bag in sideways
He the
like
only
a
nigga,
taco.
only father I
You look
see
at the
that
picture in the back,
try to
it'll show
tear
you the
down his
correct way to
kid.
put your
I'm always
ball
with my
back.
son. Like,
If
why
you
y'all
have a
keep
roller
trying
bag,
to do
please put
that?
that roller
Like,
bag in wheels in first.
that's crazy.
On
I
handles
took
in
off a
first.
whole
Make sure
year.
it is on its
My
side
son had
like
all
a
the
taco.
attention, all the
Please
care
do
he
not
needed.
sit down.
I don't,
Put
you
your
know,
bag
that's
on
weird.
the side like a taco.
Y'all want me
It's
to
a
show
small slice.
stuff and
We're trying to
no, it's none of y'all
accommodate everyone's
business.
bags. We know
Talking about why is your
we
son
still
not
have
walking?
plenty of
Who
open
said that?
seats, folks. It will be a
That's what I'm saying. His
completely
daddy
full
want to be
flight.
hurtful right now.
Welcome aboard.
Eddie right now, weird. Like,
Folks who didn't even know Blueface personally suddenly became journalists, commentators, paparazzi, anything to capture the collision that was seconds away. Jayden, who had been laughing with her friends just a few minutes earlier, froze when the whispers finally hit her table. The smile disappeared, the shoulders tensed up, that fake confidence started fading. Because no matter how many times she posts like she's over it, no matter how strong she acts online, Chrisean showing up unannounced has a way of exposing every little crack. Blueface looked over his shoulder like he felt a ghost climb into the room. That cool facade he was performing slipped the moment he saw the crowd shift. His eyes tightened, his jaw clenched, and for a second you could tell even he didn't know how to play this. Both women have pulled him in every direction for years, and tonight they were about to collide in a place where he couldn't run, hide, or deflect with jokes. The entire room turned into an arena without seats. As Chrisean stepped inside, the music almost felt like it stopped even though it didn't. People parted like they were afraid of getting caught in the splash zone, and she didn't look left, didn't look right, didn't acknowledge anybody trying to greet her. She wasn't there for the party. She wasn't there for the drinks. She came for him, and everybody could see it. Camera flashes lit her face as she scanned the room, and that's when her eyes locked onto Jayden sitting at the far end like she owned the place. The second their eyes met, you could feel the tension coil up tight like a spring ready to snap. Jayden tried to sit up straighter, pretend she was unbothered, pretend she wasn't sweating under the pressure, but the room could see the shift. That bravado she strutted in with was melting quick, and Chrisean smelled it. She walked deeper into the party with the slow confidence of someone who knows she can flip the whole building upside down without lifting a finger. And somewhere between those steps, the vibe transformed from tense to dangerous. When Chrisean finally reached the center of the room, Blueface stepped forward like he wanted to control the situation, but it was already too late. His presence didn't calm anything. If anything, it made both sides sharper. Jayden had risen from her seat now, trying to act like she wasn't intimidated, but that nervous hand fidgeting with her glass told the real story. She didn't expect Chrisean to show up this boldly, and she definitely didn't expect her to walk straight toward the main circle like she owned every inch of the room. Blueface forced a smile, trying to greet Chrisean like this was normal, like they were cool, like nothing messy lived between them, but she didn't even crack a smile. She brushed past him with the coldest shoulder, making it clear she wasn't there for pleasantries. She had a mission, and he wasn't the roadblock. He was just the person responsible for all the mess about to spill over. And when she walked past him without stopping, that's when the whole party knew she was headed for Jayden. Jayden didn't back up, but she didn't step forward either. She stood in place, gripping the edge of the table like she was grounding herself. All eyes were on her now, and that pressure snapped something inside her. She took a step forward, chin up, eyes locked on Chrisean like she refused to let fear run the moment, but her voice never came out. She had no speech prepared, no clapback ready. She just stood there, trying to match Chrisean's intensity, failing quietly. Chrisean stopped just a few feet away, staring Jaidyn down with that unblinking, heavy calm, the kind of calm that always comes right before a storm.
Daddy, I'm coming back on me and the baby. I'm just waiting on your call. I love you. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything.
Her silence was louder than anything she could have shouted. People near them were slowly backing up, forming a loose circle, giving the two women room to face each other. The DJ didn't switch the track, but even he knew to turn the volume down because the entire party was about to pivot on one moment. Blueface finally tried stepping between them, but Chrisean didn't even acknowledge it. She leaned a little to the side, peering past him like he wasn't even standing there, eyes locked on Jaidyn with a look that said there were years of unfinished conversations ready to surface. And Jaidyn, who had been holding her ground so far, finally cracked under the weight of that stare. She blinked too long, she exhaled too fast, and that tiny break told Chrisean everything she needed to know. The room shifted again. People whispered predictions. Some pulled out their phones, others backed toward the exits just in case things went left. And then Chrisean finally opened her mouth. Not to yell, not to threaten, but with a quiet, dangerous line that made the entire party freeze. Chrisean hit Jaidyn with a line so calm it felt surgical, something only meant for the two of them, but everybody heard it anyway. It wasn't loud, but it sliced right through the noise. The kind of statement that tells someone, I don't need to shout to shake your whole world. And the moment that sentence dropped, Jaidyn went stiff, not because she didn't have a comeback, but because she didn't expect that level of precision. Chrisean didn't just show up ready for drama, she showed up with receipts, emotions, and years of pent-up frustration that were all simmering under the surface. Jaidyn tried covering her reaction by rolling her eyes, but her hand was trembling slightly, just enough for the closest people to notice. She took a step back, trying to find her composure, but every step she took back, Chrisean took one forward, closing the distance like she was reclaiming territory. The music was just background noise now. The energy around them felt like static. People in the back of the room started murmuring, knowing these two had been circling each other for years without ever having a moment this direct. Blueface stood between them again, trying to mediate, but the women weren't even looking at him anymore. They were locked onto each other like two forces that had been pulled into the same orbit, unable to avoid the collision. He raised his hands like he was asking for peace, but you could tell even he knew he had lost control of the situation. He wasn't running the show anymore. His past decisions were. Then Jaidyn snapped. She stepped forward and fired back, not with volume, but with something bitter enough to cut, something she thought would flip the power, something she thought would embarrass Chrisean. And for a split second, she believed she had landed a hit, until she saw the smile spread across Chrisean's face. Not a friendly smile, not a soft one, a smile like, you really think that's all you got? And that's when everything flipped. Chrisean didn't lunge, she didn't swing, she didn't even raise her voice. She started talking, calmly, deliberately, listing out situations everyone online had argued about for years. Things Blueface had said, things Jaidyn had done, things that weren't supposed to ever be addressed publicly. And with every sentence, Jaidyn's face tightened more. These weren't rumors, these were details. And the crowd felt that shift, that moment when the drama turned from typical internet messiness into something deeper, something raw. Jaidyn tried interrupting, but the crowd shushed her, not out of disrespect, out of shock. They wanted to hear every word. They wanted to know how much truth Chrisean had stored away. And the more she spoke, the more the room leaned in. Even Blueface looked stunned, like he didn't think she would actually go there. And she wasn't finished. The crowd tightened its circle, waiting for whatever came next, but neither woman backed down. Chrisean kept talking, and each line hit harder than the last. She wasn't dragging for entertainment. She was unloading everything she never got to say, the things fans speculated about, the moments people pieced together through screenshots, the nights the internet argued over timelines. She laid each one out like puzzle pieces, showing everyone how connected they really were. Jaden tried to hold the mask together, but her eyes kept darting toward Blueface like she wanted him to step up and shut this down. But he didn't. He stood there frozen, trapped between two truths, the one he lived with Jaden and the one he lived with Chrisean. And seeing him silent only fueled Chrisean more. She didn't raise her voice once. She didn't need to. The truth carried itself. That's when Jaden reached her breaking point. She stepped in close, pointing her finger, trying to reclaim control by getting loud. She started firing accusations back, not calculated ones, but emotional ones. Rage built. Panic built. She wanted the crowd to see her as the one who had been wronged. She wanted them to understand why she had stayed, why she had fought, why she always looked like she was defending herself. But the delivery was sloppy. The emotion was too raw. The voice cracked. The performance fell apart. And while she yelled, Chrisean stayed silent, watching her with that same sharp, unblinking stare that had rattled her earlier. Silence in a moment like this is louder than any scream. The room sided with the quiet. They always do. Silence makes people listen, and the shift in public sympathy was instant. People who came in rooting for Jaden now saw someone cracking under pressure, while Chrisean looked controlled, grounded, focused. Blueface finally moved between them, putting his hands out again, trying to signal the night was over. But the story was already too big to contain. The guests were whispering everything they heard, repeating details, sending texts, recording the aftermath. What was supposed to be Blueface's return celebration had turned into a live-action unraveling of years of drama, all centered on the two women who defined his public narrative more than any music or headline ever could. Jaden's voice dropped to a shaky whisper. She wasn't yelling anymore. She was pleading now, not with Chrisean, but with Blueface, asking him to say something, defend her, validate her, protect her ego. But he stayed quiet, and that silence hit her harder than anything Chrisean said. And Chrisean, seeing that silence, finally stepped back. Not because she was done, but because she had already won the moment. She didn't need to stay and gloat. She didn't need to escalate anything. She had walked into that room with a purpose, and everyone saw it fulfilled. But the night wasn't done spinning yet. Once Chrisean stepped back from the confrontation, the energy in the room shifted from explosive to eerily unstable, like the calm after a building has already taken damage. Guests were whispering loudly, analyzing every line, every reaction, every crack in Blueface and Jaden's facade. People weren't even pretending to party anymore. They were replaying the incident in their heads, trying to piece together which parts were familiar from online mess and which parts were brand new revelations dropped right in front of them. Jaden stood still, staring at nothing, processing the hit she didn't see coming. She wasn't embarrassed because she lost an argument. She was embarrassed because Chrisean pulled back the curtain she had fought for years to keep closed. And now that the crowd saw the truth under that curated confidence, the room's respect for her shifted. Not hate, not sympathy, just that cold realization that the image she sold online wasn't matching the reality. Blueface walked to her, touching her shoulder gently like he was trying to calm her down, but she shrugged him off with a shaky breath. Not because she was angry at him in that moment, but because she finally realized he wasn't going to save her from the narrative. Not tonight, not ever. He had built a storyline where two women fought over a man who couldn't control his own life, and now the consequences had pulled up in real time. Meanwhile, Chrisean walked toward the exit with her head high, the crowd parting for her again. But this time, the energy around her wasn't fear. It was acknowledgement. She didn't swing on anyone. She didn't start chaos. She didn't act wild. She spoke her truth clearly, and the room respected it in a way nobody expected. Even the people who came in rolling their eyes at her name had to admit she carried herself differently tonight. Outside, cameras flashed as she stepped into the night air. Fans shouted questions, but she didn't answer any. She just walked off with that same steady stride she had walked in with, leaving the building buzzing behind her. And the moment that door shut, the party unraveled completely, because while Chrisean left physically, the chaos she triggered stayed inside. Jaden finally sat down, staring at the table like the whole night had folded on top of her. Her friends whispered to her, trying to spin the situation, trying to comfort her, but she wasn't hearing anything. She was stuck replaying the confrontation, realizing she wasn't ready. Not for the truth, Not for the pressure, not for the energy Chrisean brought with her. She had spent so much time trying to look strong online that she didn't prepare for the real-life collision. And Blueface? He stood there looking at the door Chrisean walked out of, then at the woman sitting with tears in her eyes, finally seeing the damage he had created. Not by choosing one woman over the other, but by refusing to choose anything at all. What happened in that room will echo online for weeks, maybe months. Clips will be posted. Fans will take sides. Analysts will spin theories. But one thing is clear. The moment Chrisean pulled up, the whole night rewrote itself. And if you want more Streetwise breakdowns just like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay locked in for the next one.